your second day in here in 4 days. It's your first time ever in here. Welcome.
Yes, sir.
What's this like been for you at Arkansas? Coming, you're from Mississippi, right?
Montgomery, Alabama.
Alabama, that's right. Coming from Alabama, being here last year, going through spring, all the way up till now. What's your journey like?
It's been awesome getting in here with Taylen coming in at the same time and just really growing through Coach Petrino's offense with him. We got to bounce a lot of stuff off of each other, and it wasn't like I was too much of the new guy because we were all coming into it at the same time. We got to learn together. And Fayetteville as a city, I love it. It reminds me a lot of home, so I'm loving everything about it.
And what's it been like working under Bobby Petrino and just your own personal development from day one to now?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I feel like the biggest thing is just understanding coverages and his concepts to beat the coverages, different pressures. Like in high school, I had no idea about it for real, and he's taught me almost everything I know about football now, so it's been great.
Taylen, we've seen Jaylen Brown work with the ones and fastball the past couple days, and Sam even singled him out after the scrimmage Saturday. How has he maybe improved since the beginning of fall camp, and how's your chemistry going with him?
First is knowledge of the game, knowledge of the offense. As we, enter, I want to say it's day 10, practice 10 of fall camp. He's knowing the formation, knowing the plays, and just playing with speed, and that's what jumps off, with me, just his speed and the way he gets out of cuts. And he had like a really long touchdown in the spring. The scrimmage. My job is to just get in his hands and let him, make plays, and it's attract me with him. So.
What have you seen most from KJ over the past 2 years? It seems like, he's cemented that backup spot. He's taken a step forward. How have you seen him grow?
Really, as I would say, like I'm probably closest with him from the whole, team. He's, one of my, I would say, best friends off the field. I'm always coming over his house, or he's coming over my house, and we're just eating some food, or but just seeing how he grew from a freshman, wide-eyed to a redshirt freshman, or second year, and really focused, and just how he's grown up, and I'll say his personality shows more in his second year. He's in the meeting rooms, he's the quickest to make a joke or lighten the mood up. So, and that's really good. I know I need that sometimes, 'cause I'm like all serious sometimes. So, but just his growth really, not just as a football player, but as a young man.
KJ, are you 19 years old right
19,
now?
yeah.
So, and Monte Harrison's 30 years old, but you guys have a connection, man. We see it in practice. We heard about it in the scrimmage. What is it about him that you guys have such a good rapport right now? And, just talk us through how that chemistry has developed this fall.
Yeah, I think the biggest part of our success is just how big and physical he is and how decisive he is. I feel like every route, if he has a choice, I know exactly what he's going to do. I know if he's going to take a high angle or throw him by and break it kind of flat. And we've really built some good chemistry over camp, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do in the season.
Yeah, KJ, we talked to Taylen after the scrimmage, but what were just your impressions from it and how you did?
It was a good scrimmage. We got to move the ball better as twos. We scored some good long play touchdowns, and we just got to keep that going into next week. I know we're going against the ones the whole time, so we got to get some big plays and then also just move the ball and run downs too.
Yeah, and Coach Petrino was saying that you've been kind of hard on yourself, but you're maturing in that. I mean, what are ways in which you think you're getting just better in that and just having a clean slate, wiping, each play, moving on to the next?
Yeah, I'd like to say I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, but Coach Petrino, he's talked to me about it. That was a big thing after spring ball, him talking to me about it and just saying it's okay to know what you have to fix, but you also have to know what you did good. So I'm still going to look at those plays that I didn't do good the most, but just knowing that it's all right, it's just football. And mistakes are going to happen.
KJ, Coach Pittman has talked about just how much he believes in you just since you've gotten to campus, and has said that you may be potentially the guy to follow up in Taylen's footsteps next season. Just how much has that support meant to you just kind of since you arrived on campus?
No, it's everything. I'm so glad that I chose Arkansas because of Coach Pitt. He's great. He's been great to me throughout my whole from day one recruiting process to now. He never told me a lie, and he's always had my back. And just having his trust is a huge thing. It lets you go out there and really just play free and be yourself.
Taylen, I saw you smile there when KJ said he's a bit of a perfectionist. I'm curious how you've maybe helped him in that regard, trying to move past the mistakes and everything.
I would say, in practice, like he'll make, some crazy, throws or crazy reads, and then the next play he'll, mess up and he'll still be on that play, a couple plays down, and what I can do is just next play mentality, because I've been young before, I'm still young, but they call me the old head, but just having that next play mentality of whether good or bad, it doesn't matter. Just continue to keep the chains moving. And Coach Petrino has a saying: it's never as good as it seems. It's never as bad as it seems. Reality is somewhere in between. So just staying level-headed. That's what I strive to encourage KJ to do each and every time he hits the field.
And KJ, we talked to Taylen a little about the VR stuff the other day. I'm curious from your perspective, what's it like? How do you feel like it's maybe helped? Or
Nah, it's awesome. It's like ever since we've gotten it, it's like my vision is just so much better. I see more. I'm not like tunnel vision on the field, because with the VR, I'll go through a rep or something and I'll be like, dang, I really didn't see anything. So I'll watch it 3-4 times and make sure that I can see everything, have wide vision, like Coach Petrino will say, and I feel like that helps with just knowing, first of all, like a defense, they're messing up and a guy popping wide open, being able to see it and make the ball and make the throw.
KJ, what's it been like, second year in the playbook for both you and Taylen, but just getting to have a veteran that you're behind, getting to learn from, just the ways that Taylen can help you?
No, it's awesome, because there's a lot of times where we install some plays and he might get them the first day after we install them, and I'll get to see what he did, and he's going to do the right thing. So, I don't like to go in there and mess up after he does it right. So he makes my job kind of easy. I get to see him go through the reads, and then after practice we'll talk about what he saw, and so I get to go do the same thing as him. And that's been with everything. He's kind of first guy up all the time. So even in drill work, he'll do a drill and he's not gonna mess the drill up. He'll show me exactly how to do it. So just go in there and do what he did.
And if maybe both of you can answer, just C.J. Brown, what are you seeing from him? What's maybe how he has elevated his game? I know y'all are the same year, so maybe if you'll go first, KJ.
Yeah, C.J., he's been my room. Well, we just moved out from each other, but we've been roommates since last January, and I feel like he's been a great player since he was up here. He had a good freshman year. Going into fall camp, he made some plays last fall camp, and going into this one, it was just him taking that step to be like he wants to be the guy this year. So he's been making plays this fall camp, and his confidence is going up, and him and Taylen are growing better with their chemistry too.
I would say that's the biggest thing is his confidence. He has a mentality every single time whether it's slot or outside, that he can win in every single route, and that's what I see when I see maybe a certain route. I'm not going to say the route, but just the confidence and speed that he's playing with, and just catching. If he drops it, he's going to be on the jug machine. We got a whole new Monarch. Shout out to Monarch, but him and all the receivers are going to be on there. So that's what I really like. Just his confidence and his mentality. That every single day, every single week, every single play, he can run a post route. Then coach wants him to go into the slot and run another route, and he's all gas, no brakes. That's what I really love about CJ.
Is that machine you're talking about the one that shoots the footballs out and passes to receivers?
It can shoot it out anywhere on the field. It's crazy. It has 8 footballs in there. Yeah.
KJ, I wanted to ask you about some of the younger offensive linemen that you probably work with more than you do. LJ and Cash and Blake. What have you seen from them in just a very short amount of time, especially for LJ on being on campus?
Yeah, I think the first thing that jumps out playing with them and going back and watching the film is just they're tough. They're tough and they're strong. They've been doing a really good job with me protecting and run blocking too. And those guys, they know what they've got going on. I think I don't think Cash ever messes up. So he's been it's crazy because I don't know of a freshman coming in and being a center, especially with the two so early. But he really has a good hold on the offense. So it's been great to work with all of those guys.
Tell me something a little bit individually about LJ and Blake, like you mentioned with Cash.
Yeah, LJ, the first thing that pops out in the scrimmage the other day, he pulled, and I don't know if it was a linebacker or a safety, but he pulled and hit him. And we rewatched it about 3-4 times in our film, just saying, yeah, he's going to be a player. And Blake, he's the same way, just real hard-nosed football players, and they don't second-guess themselves. They play full speed, and I love to see it because, those are going to be my guys in the long run.
There's a couple of slightly older guys, redshirt freshman Kobe Branham and Shaq, that are competing on the right side spot with Keyshawn and Amarian. Just your thoughts on that position, those two position battles, how that's going over there.
I would say just their consistency, when not just the offense, but just their overall pass pro and run blocking. And like I said, after the scrimmage, their care factor that jumps off the page. And when whether we're in 11-on-11 or Andy periods, they're going full speed, and they're actually, asking a whole bunch of questions to, the leaders like Junior or Corey or Caden. They've been through the fire. So I feel like they're like a soap. Like they're always learning and always, trying to get better each and every day. And no matter if they're not feeling well or hurting, they're still going to be out there. And that's why the O-linemen have my respect, because the trenches is nothing to play with. So that's what I really love about them.
KJ, Coach Petrino was just in here talking about your improved accuracy. Were there things this summer you did specifically to try to improve that?
Yeah, I'd say I worked a lot at it this summer, and I feel like the accuracy, it just came with, again, having another summer in the offense and being more dialed in and not second guessing. I've been, it's just, I feel accuracy comes with knowing where you're going with the ball and being early and on time. And I feel like Coach Petrino has just helped me understand why he's calling plays, what coverages, and all that stuff. And that's helped me improve my accuracy a lot.
Taylen, you mentioned Caden there, last question. What's the relationship like there? What has he impressed you most about him working at center? And Mateos has really raved about his communication. Can you get a sense of that as a quarterback, that he's working well with the offensive line in that regard?
I would say the biggest thing is, like, before I make, like, checks or before I make, like a point or a mic call, like, he already has it, like, dialed in. And that's what the biggest thing is. Like, I don't have to go to the line and do all that. Like, he already is on top of it. And just how he is in the locker room, he's always, with the boys, with the guys. And I always, go over to his house, and he has a dog, and, I was trying to say what's up to, his dog. And I have a dog, so, some like playmate, But just our chemistry, and I'm truly, grateful to have a bond off the field with him too. And during the off season, I went over his house and met their whole family. And his dad is like a chef, can cook, can throw it down. Like, he had the whole spread. And just for them to open their doors like that, to me, and they never met me, means the world to me. And that's what I love about Caden. He can, on the field, he's dialed, serious, and he'll let me know, hey, like, I messed up on this snap. It's never gonna happen again. Like, he takes me after the scrimmage like a paragraph. It's never gonna happen again. So he's, like I said, his care factor, and he's really, really serious about his work and what he puts on film. So,
what was the spread? What was the meal?
It was I never had like real like lobster before, but he did some lobster. He did like what is it called? It's like a dessert where they put it on fire. What is that? Yeah. See, I ain't never had that before. So when he like put it on fire, I was like, hold on. So, but it was delicious though. It was delicious. So
mentioned like you'll come to the line, he'll be making the calls. Is that like the order of operations? Like the center's supposed to make them first, and then it comes to you. Does it matter? Like I know you probably both do it, but is it supposed to be center then QB making the calls there?
I mean, honestly, it's just whoever sees it first, really. And you know, Caden normally has it dialed, so I'm making sure he's the point or things like that. So. All I have to do is, you know, say down, set HUD, and get the ball snapping. That makes the offense run a lot smoother and runs actually like quicker. And so yeah.
Taylor, it seems like there's been some polarizing opinions of you, national people. There's some that think you're great, and there's others that maybe are more critical. Do you hear that? And if so, do you try to use it as fuel, or do you just try to, completely ignore that kind of stuff?
I mean, honestly, I hear some of it, but at the same time, I've always been counted out my whole life, and that's why I love Arkansas. Arkansas, of course, is not in the ranks of gonna win or always counted out. So that's what the mindset we have of just proving ourselves right. The people that are in that facility, not just the football players, but the people behind the scenes, the training staff, the training room staff, the strength staff, the EQ, the media people. Just have that mindset of just being the most physical team and the smartest team. So that's what I've always had that chip on my shoulder of just proving people wrong but proving myself right, and that's what I've always had. And my dad is always on me to never get too comfortable and just always strive for greatness. So.
And then for either of you,
and I would say my coach always will have that mentality too, so that helps also.
I was curious for either of you how Grayson Wilson, you've seen him improve since the spring, and then also the addition of Trevor Jackson. Kind of how has he looked?
I would say what really jumps off the page is his memory and his knowledge of the offense. When he first got in here, he was one of the first in the meeting rooms and drawing up plays and asking questions. When I first got here, I was like, hold on, this formation with this and this check, I was like, hold on. So I would say his what is it called? His memory. And in spring, he didn't get a lot of reps, but when he did, he made the most of them, and that's what I really was impressed with. And he was, dialed in with the footwork and just his reads. And Trevor, I'm, impressed with his athleticism and his arm strength, and he can make all the throws. And just he's always asking questions. He's asking Petrino questions when we're watching install tape. And if Petrino says like, does everybody understand? He'll be like, no, I don't understand. And just that confidence, and it's okay to have a question. It's okay to not know, and that's the right time to ask those type of questions. So that's why I was really impressed with both of them.
Yeah, I'll just say Grayson, he's a very inquisitive guy too. If he doesn't understand it, he's going to ask a question, and I feel like that's going to really help him in the long run. And he's been good with his timing. He's been hitting receivers in strides, and like Taylen said, like he might not have gotten the most reps in the spring, but when he did, he was fired up, ready to go, and he wasn't second guessing himself. He was completing the ball and moving it. And yeah, with Trevor, he's he just got here, and he's just surprised me with how much he knows the offense. Like he knows what's going on. Yeah, there's hiccups, but it's still smooth with him. He's not second guessing or anything. And then when he does get out the pocket, he's making big plays too. So they've both been doing a really great job.
Fellas, great job.
Go on.
Go hard.